I transmigrated as the gaudy Peacock, but now I tailor for the general. Chapter 1. My name is Julian, 28 years old, lead costume designer for period dramas, and, according to my assistants, a tyrant when it comes to color theory. My life was measured in thread counts and seam allowances. Put me in front of a bolt of silk or a Radix sewing machine and I could work miracles. My world was tactile. The drape of heavy velvet, the structure of linen, and the quiet satisfaction of a perfect hem. The only distraction in my life, other than work, was my assistant, Clara. She treated the design studio like her personal book club, shoving web novels at me between fittings. The latest offender? A historical BL novel called The General's Cold Blade. I had skimmed it just to get her to stop talking. It was a standard trope fest, a stoic general, a noble protagonist, and a cannon fodder villain named Shen Yu. Shen Yu was a character written to be hated. Known as the Peacock of the capital, he was a vain, screeching fop who spent his family's merchant fortune on gold-dipped boots and neon silks while harassing the male lead, General Zhao. I remember tossing the tablet onto my cutting table and muttering, "The real villain here is the costume description. Gold on lime green? Atrocious." Oh, the irony. Because the next thing I knew, I was stumbling over a heavy roll of fabric in the studio, the sharp edge of a shelving unit rushing toward my temple. Then, darkness. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't in a hospital. Instead, I was lying in a bed that looked like it had been swallowed by a dragon. The canopy was a suffocating shade of crimson, dripping with gold tassels that swayed menacingly above my nose. My hands, usually rough with pinpricks and callus from shears, were pale, soft, and terrifyingly smooth when I raised them to my face. "No," I whispered. My voice came out higher than usual, whiny. I sat up, fighting off the heavy duvet, and scanned the room. It was an assault on the senses. Vases painted in clashing colors, robes piled on the floor like dead birds of paradise, and the distinct smell of cloyingly sweet incense. I stumbled toward the polished bronze mirror in the corner. The reflection that stared back made my stomach drop. The face was caked in white powder so thick it threatened to crack. The cheeks were rouged into aggressive circles, and the lips were painted a jarring cherry red. "You look like a cursed doll," I muttered, touching the cheek. It was undeniable. The gaudy room, the pampered body, the face that looked like it had lost a fight with a paint box. I was in the body of Shen Yu, the Peacock, the spoiled brat destined to bankrupt his family and eventually be executed for insulting the nobility. For a long moment, I just stared. My brain, ever the practical designer, scrambled through the facts. 1, I was in the Tang Dynasty, or a fictional approximation of it. 2, this body was a walking disaster of bad taste. 3, if I followed the plot, I was going to die. The door slid open with a bang, and a young woman rushed in. She wore a simple, somewhat threadbare dress, her hair pinned back severely. I recognized her instantly from the descriptions. Shen Li, the younger sister. In the novel, Shen Yu sold her into a miserable marriage to pay off his gambling debts. "Brother, you're awake." Though her tone wasn't relieved, it was wary, bordering on exhausted. She held a basin of water like a shield. Did you need more wine? Or perhaps money for the musicians?" I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was bracing herself for me to throw something or demand silver. The original Shen Yu had treated her like a servant, dismissing her intelligence and stealing her jewelry. I swallowed hard. "No." "No?" She blinked, clearly confused. "No?" "No wine," I rasped. I looked down at myself. I was wearing a sleeping robe embroidered with golden ducks. Actual ducks with sequins for eyes. A wave of professional nausea hit me. Shen Yu, give me the scissors. Her eyes went wide. She took a step back. Brother, what? The scissors, I said, pointing to a sewing kit on the vanity. And a wet cloth, immediately. Hesitantly, she handed them over, looking ready to bolt. I didn't explain. I grabbed the cloth and began scrubbing. I scrubbed until the white powder turned into a paste, until the rouge smeared and vanished, revealing the skin underneath. It was pale, yes, but healthy. The features weren't bad, just hidden under layers of insecurity and bad decisions. Then I took the scissors. Brother, Shen Yu gasped as I grabbed the golden tassel hanging off my sleeve. Snip. I threw the tassel on the floor. Then I went for the golden ducks. The stitching was sloppy, likely overpriced work from a scam artist tailor. Garbage. Tacky. Structurally unsound. I looked up at my sister, my face now clean, my robe slashed of its ridiculous ornaments. Shen Yu, I said, my voice firmer than before. How much debt are we in? She stared at me, her mouth slightly open. What? The family business. I channeled every ounce of my former life's authority. The silks, the ledger. How bad is it? Father says we might have to close the West shop by winter, she whispered, eyeing the pile of gold thread on the floor. Why do you ask? You never care about the ledgers. I care now, I said, standing up. My legs were weak, unused to anything strenuous. Because looking like this, I gestured to the room, the robe, the mirror. This is a crime, and I'm done being the victim. If I was stuck here, I wasn't going to be a cautionary tale. I was going to redesign this life, stitch by stitch. I ordered prepare the workroom. The Peacock is dead. We have work to do.